How's it going? I'm in the studio. One really nice thing about having this set up is when I feel like playing, I can play. And it feels good. Being off the road this year, I miss it. I do. At least I miss being on stage. That was always a lot of fun. What is, we did it. But just wanted to give you a little history on Hey Joe. I learned Hey Joe for the most part on this guitar. This guitar started off no scratches on it. It's 1965, and I got it in 1980. I actually had been playing Hey Joe for a couple of years at that point, but the year that I graduated from high school, I got this guitar, and I had a white one on order, and it never came in. Come to find out, the music store owner, Freddie at Fredmore Music, he didn't have an endorsement with Fender, so he was trying to find a line on one through another music store down in London, Kentucky, and one just never came in. But in the meantime, this did. And Freddie said, Kelly, you know, you don't know any better, but this is a much nicer guitar than a new one. This is a vintage. Well, what ended up being soon called a vintage guitar. And so it's like, all right, I didn't know. And I took it over to a friend of mine that worked on guitars, a guy named Ron Harris. He set it up for me. He said, "You know what you have?" I'm like, "Yeah." I didn't. He said it was a beautiful guitar. And so I really cut my teeth on this. And every scratch that's on this guitar came by me. And the guy that owned it wasn't a Strat player, so it sat in the case, either under his bed or in the closet. And so when I got it, it was like opening up a brand new guitar. So, Hey Joe, I remember this was one of the first songs that I ever got in my guitar lesson, because when you're learning how to play rock guitar, you learn what's called a pentatonic blues scale. It's a 5-note pentatonic 5-note scale based off of the root. And this riff was kind of a classic riff. There's so many songs that use a variation of note configurations in that area on the guitar, and the key of E is a very popular key for rock guitar, for blues guitar, for a lot of guitar. And I loved there was a version of Bob Dylan doing like a Rolling Stone. It was a live version. No, I'm sorry, Jimi Hendrix doing Bob Dylan's version of like a Rolling Stone, the Monterey Pop Festival. And it's the same recording when he burned his guitar. And he had a little, that's where I picked up that little ditty, that little suspended note to a bar chord. And that little riff that I picked up in Hendrix's version of Like a Rolling Stone, I ended up incorporating later into Hey Joe's. So slap harmonics, I guess Eddie Van Halen, who used to, he would kind of map out the chord or notes that he played an octave higher, because the most predominant harmonic on the guitar is at the 12th fret. That's when the guitar string is in tune with itself, in the loudest place, because there's an equal distance on both sides of that frequency, or both sides of that note, that harmonic, that position on the string. So if you take any chord and go 12 frets up above it, you've got, you can get, you know, close enough to where, especially with distortion, a little bit of volume, it rings. So incorporated that, and then the little Dylan thing when I go into the verse. I started putting that in the verses when I sang. So, you know, just little tips and tricks along the way. But Hey Joe for me was such a fun song because it was just wide open. It was just one big E. You could just go and go and go and go and go. And then there's that cool little and I altered that a little bit over the years. Instead of doing the Hendrix way, I've tried to take everything that I've done by the artists that I love and put my own little twist to it. Sometimes those twists came early on and I couldn't figure out what they were really doing, and it's just the way I started doing it all those years ago, and it just became the way I did it. And then sometimes I actually put some thought to, well, what else could I do? But usually it was you know, it's like, wow, I'm not sure what they're doing, so here's how I'm going to do it. And I guess that's how blues and rock and music and life kind of evolves. So that's it. Hey Joe.